Hola. Let me paint a picture for you. It's Thursday afternoon. Something went wrong. Maybe a system went down, maybe a project missed a milestone, maybe a vendor dropped the ball. Your team knows, you know, and somewhere up the chain, someone who needs to know doesn't yet. And the clock is ticking. Here's what I've learned after 4 decades in technology and leadership. Bad news is like milk setting out. The longer you wait, the worse it gets. And the smell, that's your credibility. Welcome to Click Start. I'm Gary Kern. Short episodes, real talk, practical ideas at the intersection of technology, leadership, and the cliches that connect them. Today, one of the most underrated disciplines in leadership, delivering bad news early. Bad news doesn't age well, is kind of the cliche. I've frequently said it as bad news early is good news, which sounds counterintuitive until you've been on the receiving end of bad news that arrived late. Then it makes a lot of sense. Every experienced leader I've ever respected had one thing in common. They wanted to hear bad news fast. Not because they enjoyed it, because late bad news doesn't just bring the original problem, it brings a second problem right on top of it, and that second problem is almost always worse than the first. What did we learn from Watergate? The cover up, the wishing it would just go away, became bigger than the original crime. That happens in boardrooms and project meetings and everywhere else in the work environment, just with fewer subpoenas. So you need to own the message. When you deliver bad news early, you get to do that. When you delay it, someone else can own it, and knowledge gaps become speculation. We've all seen that. If a project is going sideways, and I tell you now, today, before it becomes a crisis, I get to frame it. I could tell you what happened, what I know so far, what I'm already doing about it, and what I need from you. I'm in control of the narrative. I look like a leader. If I wait until it's unavoidable, until you hear it from someone else, or until the problem announces itself publicly, I've lost all of that. Now I'm not just managing the problem, I'm managing your confidence in me. And that's a much harder job. Systems fail, projects run late, vendors miss commitments, cyber incidents happen. None of those things on their own will end a career. But covering them up, minimizing them, or slow walking the disclosure, that's a completely different story. Own the message every time. Example, a server goes down at 7 a.m. The on-call tech knows by 7:05. The help desk starts getting calls by 7:30. By 8:15, the CEO and other execs are getting emails and communication from branch managers asking why the heck they can't do their job. In that window between 7:05 and 8:15, there was an opportunity to update the right people. Hey, we have an outage. Here's what we know. Here's what we're doing. Here's when we'll update you next. 60 seconds, maybe 90. That update changes everything. It manages expectations. It tells your user base someone is on it. It stops the rumor mill. It puts you in front of the story instead of behind it. It shows accountability. Projects are also where I've seen the bad news delay problem do so much of its deadly damage. A project starts strong, good energy, clear plan, executive sponsor is engaged, everybody's excited about the deliverables. Then around week 6, 8, or 20, there's subtle shifts. The timeline starts slipping just a little. The budget is creeping. A key dependency didn't come through, there are vendor issues, and the project leader makes a very human decision. Let's try to fix this before we have to say anything. Nobody wants to walk into a steering committee and say the project is behind or at risk. I understand that. But those small shifts start to become a seismic jolt to the budget, to the timeline, to the deliverables. And by the time it's undeniable, you're no longer bringing a problem, you're bringing a crisis. I've seen this cost millions of dollars or months of issues at large companies like Lincoln or Conseco. Options are the real currency of early disclosure. When you surface a problem early, leadership can make choices, adjust scope, add resources, reset expectations, renegotiate with vendors. When you surface it late, many of those choices are already off the table or made for you. A behind schedule project is a problem. Finding out from someone other than the project leader is a different kind of problem entirely. Delivering bad news is not easy. It goes against some very basic human instincts. There's a fear there of blame or disappointment, of looking incompetent. My own personality type wants to be liked. Something like this does not help. But those who create cultures where bad news travel fast are the ones who respond to it well. They make it safe for their teams to surface problems early. They don't shoot the messenger, and they separate the problem from the person. Also, make sure you say thank you for telling me. Even what you really want to say is considerably less professional. Anyhow, 3 things that I think you could take from this today. First, set your own standard. Decide right now that you will surface bad news early. Make it a personal rule, not a situational judgment call. Second, give your people and other people a framework. Tell your team explicitly, I want to hear about problems early while we still have options. Don't wait until it's a crisis. Say it out loud, say it frequently. People can't read your mind. Third, reward the behavior. When someone brings you bad news, acknowledge it, not the problem, the behavior. I appreciate you telling me this now. That one sentence or something like it does more for your team's transparency culture than any problem you could write. Policy. I don't want to write problems. Policy you could write. So bad news doesn't age well. It doesn't shrink while you're waiting for the right moment. It festers, and it takes your credibility with it. The good news, and there's good news here, is that this is entirely learnable. It's a choice, but made consistently, and that becomes a reputation. Own the message. Surface it early. Give people options while options still exist. So that's Click Start for today. If this one hit close to home, and if you like me, I'm sure it did, I'd love to hear your story. Find me on LinkedIn, send me an email, or just simply post a comment below and share this with someone else. Hit follow so you don't miss the next one. And remember, bad news early is good news. Let your wife know you left the milk out before she smells it. See you next time right here on Click Start.